People who ride ridiculously loud motorcycles around residential areas after midnight. Why? We live on a dead-end street. My neighbor had a large motorcycle that was loud. He has since sold it. He always drove past us and to the end of the street at an idle speed, only hitting the throttle to keep it going. Likewise, he has an old, loud truck which he drives the same way. He is a stand-up neighbor. I used to push mine round the corner before I started it to go to work. Yeah, it makes so much of a difference to do that small thing. I have a loud ass sport bike that I coast in and waddle out so not to start it next to a cat's ears. Not to brag, but I cut the engine if I see a little dog or baby walking on the sidewalk, too. My dad has a story about this topic. When I was a baby, a guy on our street had a loud bike and he would sit and rev it in the driveway for 15 minutes before every ride. He once did this at about 11 PM with a few of his friends over, and it woke me up. So my dad walked over with me crying in his arms and said, "Right, which one of you peepers is going to spend the next 3 hours trying to put this baby to sleep? Because I did it last time and now you've ruined that." Of course he was still a dick about it, but the man's wife was mortified and made him stop doing it at night at least. Good on that wife. People who don't do that. If they were here they would answer, "I don't give a peep." You're not gonna get any real answers from people that actually do this. I don't see any other actual motorcycle owner in this thread with a modified exhaust, so I'll answer below. But I really wanted an answer. Op posted it in the wrong subreddit and without the serious tag. If you want a real answer, I'll give you one. I have a track bike, and so don't go through residential areas with a loud exhaust, but I know people that do. I have a manufacturer noise restrictor dB killer that brings it back to legal noise standards for public roads, and I unrestrict it on the everyone I know does this. They simply don't care/notice. The fact that they're going through a residential area is of no consequence, as if you were in your car driving on the interstate or going grocery shopping. Their stuff being loud is normalized for them and it simply fades and they don't notice/realize it anymore. It's a boring answer, yes. But if Op wanted a real one from someone that actually rides and knows a lot of people with loud ass bikes, here it is. Same for those who have diesel trucks who enjoy hearing their engine rumble for 30 minutes to 2 hours at any given time of the day or after midnight. We peeping get it. Your ride is loud. To quote Shania Twain, "That don't impress me much. You are the only one who likes it. No one is impressed." This is a real problem of mine. Behind my house is the neighborhood park with a small parking lot. Some dude sits there with his truck running for hours multiple times a week after 10 PM. I don't understand the point of letting an engine run for so long, so late at night. Is it to deliberately be a douche and anger other people? Does it get them off? Do they enjoy having to fill their tank so often? We live in an area that gets a lot of snowfall. We bought a house on a 4-way stop and grumbled about the motorcycles that roar after stopping. Then winter came and we breathed a sigh of relief, only to discover that now they buzz their snowmobiles right next to our yard at 3 AM. I bought a boat to escape. They all bought jet skis. You move into a flying city and here they come with surplus EA-18s undefined. They're too ashamed to use vibrators in public. I mean, we'll never know if they're sitting on one or not. This question can be extended to people with cars that have loud tailpipes or people who bump their music. Bro, you obviously haven't heard of the new craze that is whistle tips. They go woo 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 woo. It's like an alarm clock. South Park did it. But did The Simpsons? This thread might as well be titled "Hey asshole, why are you an asshole?" Same as why people think it's okay that their dogs bark all day. They don't care about anyone else. This is actually most likely, probably, almost definitely, surely the most accurate answer. Seriously, sincerely from me to you dearly, and merely admiring your thought process. They just don't give a peep. Because my penis is very small. When it's dark you can't see how small, but you can hear how small it is. Because it has never occurred to them that other people exist and might be sleeping. They just want to hear their engines roar. That certainly explains the asshole street racing on my street on a regular basis. Peepers. I feel you with that street racing speep. It's not just that they're annoying. They're putting innocent people's lives at risk. IDK if it's been on national news at all, but it's incredibly awful in Dallas right now. Dozens of people shut down intersections and streets to stunt, and most escape the cops. Then 30 minutes later somewhere else. People getting run over, or stuck at a light for 20 minutes BC. These idiots. Why do you need to circle around the estates for 3 hours waking up all the kids and elderly people? Why not just go straight to your destination? Wow. A ton of comments just about dick size. I ride a small scooter and it's a pretty loud and whinny, but I'm poor, it's all I can afford to drive. I also have a dead-end job and have to get up really early and come home pretty late. I feel bad a lot of days, but I don't have a lot of options. ATM. I hope Pop is describing people deliberately circling the block or something, but for some it's all we have. I'm really sorry if it ruins your sleep, but I'm just trying/working my best. I know it's probably not a solution, but earplugs or calling the cops might do something. Again, I'm sorry we are loud. I'm sure they don't mean you. I don't appreciate loud motorcycles at night, but you can tell the difference between someone just coming home and someone revving unnecessarily, or circling a neighborhood. The former never bother me. They've got to get home somehow. I once saw a documentary about people who were in relationships with their vehicles. Now, when I hear people revving, I wonder how much they love their car/bike/etc. It's creepy. I wish I'd never seen it. Interesting. Do you have a link to that? I'm seeking attention and hope that the vibration of my loud muffle enhances my manhood to a seeable size for all to stare in awe. My brother has autism and suffers from crippling social anxiety. The only thing he enjoys doing is riding around on his motorcycle. He never does it after dark though. Because I still have to get to my night shift job, but my car has a busted coil and my bike has a busted muffler. I ride a loud motorcycle, but I'd never fly around that late, and I always pull in my clutch when passing by cyclists and joggers in the road, cause it's really loud. Some people are just obnoxious no matter where or how. Because they're cunts. Absolute cunts. Every time. What are you going to do about it? And every day that a civilized person quite sensibly refrains from starting a fight with them, they puff themselves up a little bigger, thinking about what a peeping tough guy they are. They aren't inconsiderate. That would be bad enough. No. They have fully considered the effects on people and are being obnoxious deliberately because peep you. Yep. I've seen them do this to scare a puppy, the scum. There's a guy across the road from me. Owns a Harley Davidson. He just stands by it and revs it. Doesn't ride it all that much. Just stands there with tools pretending he's fixing it, tightening stuff here and there. Even worse mo. It's a Holly, so every nut and bolt vibrates loose even with Loctite. I own a very loud motorcycle. It was a busted beat up old one I got on Craigslist for $200. I got it up and running, but decided to just leave it straight piped, since I didn't want to fork out the few hundred for the OG exhaust system. I live in the middle of a residential area. I cringe to myself when I fire it up in the mornings I ride it to work. I do leave at 9, so not super early. I never ride it after about 7 to 8 p.m. The rare occasion I do my best to keep the RPMs low. As a rider of a loud bike, I despise others who rip their speed up and down the streets, even in non-residential areas at times. It's annoying AF. Huge crowds, sure, Show off if you must. But when there's no one there, but like 3 people. WTF are you doing? We all hate you. This, right here. I purchased my 93 Ninja 600 for $600 because I wanted a bike that I wouldn't feel bad about dropping as I learned to ride it. It has an aftermarket exhaust and was jetted for that exhaust. It would cost me the price of the bike to replace the exhaust and rejet it myself. Double the price of the bike to have it done professionally. The choke on my cubs also has a mind of its own. I try to babysit my bike while it's warming up, but occasionally it will catch me off guard while I'm putting my helmet on and rev itself to the moon. I've worked night shift for 12 years of my life. Managed to get away from it, but got stuck returning for a promotion. Working 12-hour shifts. If I don't take the bike to work, it doesn't get ridden. I hate being the obnoxious neighbor, especially working nights. You get really sensitive to what your neighbors do in the day. When I first got my motorcycle, I lived at a house at the top of a hill and would coast it to the bottom and as far out of the neighborhood as I could before using throttle. Now I live at the bottom of a hill and have no choice. So though I may have a small penis, I do not want to be loud or get attention. I will certainly take donations for a newer, quieter bike though.